back to the show. Today, we are not talking about St. Jack. We're in fact talking about Miami Vice, the 2006 Michael Mann film starring Colin Farrell, Jamie Foxx, among others.
And Gong Li.
Gong Li. And what's the name of that Latino guy? The guy at the end who has glasses and the wet hair. I like that guy. I met that guy one time on Zoom. I wanted him to be in a movie, but he ended up passing because I'm not cool enough.
The guy that was like the bad guy?
Yeah, like not the cool bad guy who lives in Colombia, but like that other bad guy who's like I kidnap your girl. You know, sometimes we go out for a movie, then get a bite to eat after. You know, and then there's the part at the end where he's kind of the big bad at the end, like where they have the gunfight. He's like,
yeah, so that's the one. He had like glasses and
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I never saw him before.
Really, you never seen that guy before? I see him in all sorts of stuff. His name's actually John Ortiz, but in any case, so John Ortiz is in it. Naomi Harris, which is a woman that I would think. Oh, you know you know what she's in? She's in fucking. She's the black girl in 28 Days Later. That's what she's from. I guess she had a bit of a stint. She was like in the James Bond movies too, like Skyfall and No Time to Die. Yeah, she's been in some stuff.
Was that the one who was Jamie Foxx's wife?
Yeah, that's right. Huh. She's hot.
I recognize her.
Nice ass.
A nice semi-nude scene.
Yeah. She shows some stuff. I'd like to talk. We'll get to that scene when we come to it. But did you ever watch the original Miami Vice television show?
No, I didn't.
Neither did I.
I remember it being a huge hit. I remember everybody else was watching it, but I really wasn't into watching network dramas as a kid. Yeah,
you were into more underground stuff like Hairspray and you know
that was like when Hairspray came out. I think I was in college.
Oh shit! So what were you into?
In high school, I was like when Miami Vice was on. I mean, I would probably watch sitcoms, but I would probably watch Cheers or. Trying to think of other whatever that Michael J. Fox sitcom was.
Family Ties?
Family Ties. Jeez. Or Facts of Life.
This is very, very boring, this content.
But I wasn't watching Miami Vice.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I watched Doctor Who.
Did you watch Starsky and Hutch? Or is that another one that you avoided?
No. Again, I wasn't really into those hour-long TV dramas.
I used to really want to like Doctor Who because that opening song and everything was just like, oh God, this is the best. And then you watch the show and you're just like, this isn't what I expected. This is just a bunch of fucking, this is some cheap ass motherfuckers just kind of like wandering around on like a soundstage and talking about a bunch of shit I don't get.
Yeah, I think it's sort of its time. You know, I was a kid and and there really wasn't anything else like it on TV other than there was Star Trek.
Yeah. And
there was Doctor Who. And those were your two choices if you had any interest in any kind of science fiction.
Do you want to take a break from Family Ties?
Yeah, or Facts of Life. You know, you were tired of laughing. You wanted something.
when you were sore from laughing.
When your tummy was so sore from laughing.
Yeah.
And you needed a break, then you'd put on Doctor Who. Yeah, but there's some of there's an era, there's a certain window of Doctor Who where it was actually they were actually trying to do something that was scary, and it actually got to a point where I think there was government action was taken to stop the show from being as scary as it was.
Yeah. The Ministry of Broadcast has had to intervene. We've sent Scotland Yard to the studios to stop.
So I think there was a lot of complaints from parents and stuff. But like the very early period of Tom Baker, there was like, even like that, people argue this all the time, but there's one that's called the Ark in Space episode, and the Doctor Who Tom Baker character and his two helpers they're on this ark in space, and there's these people that are in hibernation, and then they discover some like alien bug race had come in and started like implanting eggs and stuff in the bodies of the hibernating people. And then there's like also like a whole sequence where some girl is like wriggling through an air vent, and like one of the like monsters is after. Like there's a lot. Like I think Dan O'Bannon saw this, and I think he borrowed from it heavily.
Yeah, well, I mean, from what I understand of him, he's fairly unscrupulous. I wouldn't put it past him.
So I do think like there's lots of good ideas in the show, especially during that period. But yeah, they were very limited in what they could do.
I should watch some Doctor Who. I've tried in my later years, but it's always just like this is it's like that. You ever see that movie, that British movie, Quatermass and the Pit? Yeah. Like that. Everyone's always like, this movie is so like, this is the cosmic horror at its best, like, and then you're watching, you're like, well, it's
okay.
I mean, but it's,
of its time, it's
very, very theater of the mind. Like you have to do a lot of the work yourself. Same thing with another movie called, similar. Do you remember? I think it's Terror Train. It's with,
Jamie Lee Curtis?
No.
It's a slasher movie called Terror Train with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Could it be Horror Express? It's with
Horror Express. I think you're thinking
with what's his name? Savalas, Kojak.
Telly Savalas.
Telly Savalas. Yeah, is that when he plays? He's actually awesome in that movie. He plays like this like weird like Eastern Euro like Russian or some kind of. He plays this very like gruff and kind of like alpha kind of Eastern Euro character in that movie, but it's about like this mummy man that they find, but inside the mummy man is like this ancient, like, almost like the fucking creature from Stephen King's It, like this thing that's like ancient and feeds on like psychic energy or something, and it's on this train.
I don't know if I know that one.
I think it is that, but you saw that Telly Savalas one?
There's another Telly Savalas one that's called Lisa and the Devil.
It's definitely not bad.
It's a Mario Bava. But then I think there's a Horror Express that has like Peter Cushing in it. Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, 72. Bingo. Yeah, it's called Horror Express or Panic on the Trans-Siberian. Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee and Telly Savalas. That we should talk about that one. I remember like being surprised by kind of how big of a swing that was, because I thought it was just going to be like some kind of
Murder on the Orient Express.
That's exactly what I thought it was going to be, and then it turned out to be this like really like sort of big swing sci-fi concept, like cosmic horror. Is Susie there? Is she distracting you?
Little.
Come. Tell her to come join the fun.
She doesn't want to.
No, fine.
Rob says, "Come join the fun." She says no.
She says no. That's so funny. Well, then tell her to get the fuck out of here. Stop distracting our brilliant discourse. Okay, fine. Don't tell her that.
She says she's busy.
Okay, great. Okay, so Miami Vice 2006. Have you seen this? Had you seen this before?
No.
I saw this when it came out, and it was like right when I started to like, maybe like one of the first times that I ever got Asian pussy, and I was like, I'm Colin Farrell. That's me. Mm-hmm. That's me up there. So it really affected me on a visceral level. Yeah.
How do you feel about Michael Mann in general?
I think he's a genius, and I like his. I like how he thinks of a movie like in a holistic sense, like in terms of incorporating music and it's not just like a play to him and then like, and everything being an afterthought. Like, I think he thinks about music a lot. I think I'm like him in that regard. I'm always just thinking, oh, okay, well, like what's the music going to add to this and stuff. And also, yeah, like I just, the whole vibe and like, people always say, oh yeah, he invented like putting water on the fucking ground so that it reflects neon and shit. You ever heard that before?
I didn't hear that he invented it.
Yeah. Like that's to do wet downs on pavement to like reflect lights and shit. That's fully like a Michael Mann thing. I mean,
well, I remember, like that was something that really stood out in Thief. The wet streets. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, the also, yeah, just sort of like how he really grounds crime in reality. He's really good at crime stuff. I'm not a fan of The Last of the Mohicans.
I didn't like that one.
I thought that one stunk. A lot of people swear by it. I don't get it.
I'd have to rewatch it, but I don't remember. I don't remember connecting with it.
Yeah. I don't think that he does anything other than contemporary drama, like exceptionally well. I'm a big fan of The Keep, mostly just because, but not because I think it's a good movie on the whole, mostly just like the way that I like some movies because I like parts of it enough to just say that I like it.
Yeah, I remember because I saw that in high school and there was like a big, there's a big aura around the movie. Like, oh, you got to see The Keep, scariest movie ever made.
Scary. It's not scary.
I remember being we're talking like this is like whatever 1987.
Yeah, this is back when like people were watching Bela Lugosi's Dracula and then like running out of the theaters screaming.
I don't remember. I remember being fairly bored.
Yeah. That's another one where I think the music does so much of the heavy lift. The Tangerine Dream soundtrack.
Yeah, it is. It's a great soundtrack. But I mean, maybe because I went in like with this idea of like, oh, get ready to piss your pants and watch The Keep, and then like being like, this is not scary. Like if I watched it now and sort of would like saw it as kind of like this, Nazi revenge movie or something,
yeah,
I might appreciate it more. But yeah, I don't remember really liking it all that much.
That's funny. Get ready to piss your pants. We should do that for Crossed. Actually, that's a good way to shoot yourself in the foot. My pants are dry. They said I'd piss my pants, but my pants are dry. See? But anyways, yeah, so I like Michael Mann. What are your impressions or what are your feelings towards Michael Mann?
I think overall he's pretty great. Because when I think of The Insider, which is fucking great, the Manhunter.
Oh yeah, Manhunter is an all-timer.
And like the ones that he does, A Thief is great. I mentioned before. So like the ones when he's great, and when he's not great, it's not so great.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I remember watching The Insider, and I remember I started watching it fairly late at night. So I thought, like, okay, I'll watch a little bit of this.
I should rewatch that. That's the one about smoking, about big tobacco, right?
Right. It's about big tobacco.
Yeah.
And I thought, like, oh, here we go. We're going to get a big lecture on like why smoking is bad.
This guy hates lectures.
And man, I was completely swept up. It's a total thriller.
Yeah.
Like, it's an amazing thriller. And about like one of the most boring subjects you can imagine, just sort of like corporate espionage, or not corporate espionage, corporate double dealing and surveillance and it was terrific.
It's like
great movie.
It's like big tobacco is like a government and it has its own little CIA to kind of do shit.
But just like when you hear all this, it just sounds like, oh, boring. But man, it ain't boring at all. It was so great. It was thrilling.
Yeah. Indeed.
I don't say that about a lot of films. The Insider is thrilling. You'll piss your pants. There's so many thrills.
Get ready to piss your pants. Al Pacino, Russell Crowe, The Insider. Your pants will be soaked in piss. Miami Vice is one that like I hear people say that it's like that they think it sucks, and I hear some people say that they think it's like one of the best movies ever made. You know who's a big fan of this movie is Harmony Korine. I read something that he thought that this movie, like I think it has a lot to do with just like because Harmony Korine famously has said at some point on camera that he doesn't really care too much about plot. That's not what he remembers of films. He remembers scenes and he remembers characters. And that's what Gummo
clear.
is. Say what?
That's clear from the work he's done.
Yeah.
He doesn't care about plot.
Yeah. But like, for example, Gummo is just scenes and characters. That's the whole,
right.
That was his modus operandi with that. But
I think that works sometimes, especially if you're capturing a certain moment in time and history. But, I guess I can see similarities to Spring Breakers, but I didn't think Spring Breakers was a successful film. Yeah,
I'm a little bit ambivalent. I didn't mind it. I thought it was a decent watch, and I like Spring Breakers made me feel the same way that I felt when I first saw like Raw, the Julia Ducournau movie. Like when I saw just like when I see like teens like partying really hard and doing drugs and heavy drinking and stuff, like it kind of gives me this sort of fun feeling of like, oh my God, like, I don't know if I could handle that, but I got more out of Raw in that regard than I did out of Spring Breakers, which is disappointing because Spring Breakers should be like the ultimate, like that kind of movie, like sort of just abusing, being like 18 and just abusing your body.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't seen Raw. But Kids has a lot of that.
Yeah. True.
But I just felt like Spring Breakers, the characters weren't as like, there was one character, like the one that leaves almost at the very beginning, the one who's like religious. She was the only one who was interesting because she seemed to be the only one that had sort of a personality that stood out from the others. All the rest of them seemed fairly interchangeable.
Yeah.
And so I kind of felt like, well, if he had kind of infused these women with like bigger, more, like stronger personalities, individual personalities, maybe this could have worked better.
Mm-hmm.
But it just kind of was, like, I didn't care because I didn't really know who these girls were. Or I didn't really feel any connection to them. I didn't care. But I guess I can see the connection between Miami Vice and Spring Breakers.
Well, the big revelation, if I recall, I don't have it in front of me, but I think it was like Michael Mann decided to use like, really high quality censored digital video. Which by today's standards was actually primitive. 2006 like digital cinema camera is far inferior to like what's used today. But the whole idea, in addition to using digital, it's not just that. It's also primarily using just like natural light, like not actually lighting scenes, just kind of like letting the light dictate, like even like doing nighttime shots, but just letting like street lights and signs and shit illuminate the scene. And what that does is it gives it a very unique look, which sometimes looks bad, but then also sometimes looks really awesome. And I don't know, like, I mean, I'm not the best at sort of clocking this stuff at identifying kind of, I don't know what looks good or bad, like some people think that shit that I really think it looks awesome looks awful, Some people love fucking 60 frames per second, what's that word? Interpolated video, so that it looks more like a video game. And I think it looks terrible. Like watching those Hobbit movies in the theaters or something. Some people think that looks good. So I don't fucking know. Some people think that like, that a crushed sort of, like shot on film looks bad. But anyways, I think that we can agree that Miami Vice has sort of a unique look, especially for the time. Like when it came out, it didn't look like anything else. Like it looked, for some reason, just more real. Like people would pick up on that subliminally.
What year did it come out? Like 2006. 2006.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, looking at it now, I'm not really sure because that's another thing too. It inspired so many people. It sort of changed the way that like crime films, like sort of shooting in that verite kind of way with a lot of handheld and using like natural light and that sort of thing, and also just the use of digital as well. Miami Vice really did a lot for that sort of thing.
Did Michael Mann do Heat as well?
He certainly did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which came first, Heat?
Miami. Oh, that's a good question. I feel like Heat might have come first. Yeah,
I think Heat came first.
Yeah, I think you're right. Heat. Fuck. Heat came like 10 years earlier. Okay. Yeah, that's
right. Yeah, Heat's cool.
Heat's cool. I like. I think that Heat probably is a better, like just objectively a better film, but Miami Vice I rewatch way more. Like I just think that I have a lot more of a fun time watching Miami Vice. Miami Vice. I like to drink tequila and watch Miami Vice. But anyways, yeah. So what should we talk about it? So first of all, I fear that you probably watched like the home video cut or aka the director's cut, which starts off with a speedboat scene. Like it's like a cigarette boat scene. Yeah, that's fuck that one. That's the shitty. That's the one that sucks. That's the longer version. But there's very bizarre. Like, okay, so the big things first of all with that version is that there's that fucking opening bit with the with Herc from The Wire and like and they're racing cigarette boats and then hey, look, we got some big titty bitches here. Look, it's Miss Cuba, over here. And then it jumps to the nightclub, and then they're dancing to Linkin Park and Jay-Z, that fucking like that song that would never be in a nightclub. That would people would be like, what the fuck? Why is the DJ putting this on? But everyone's dancing to that. That's how the theatrical version opens. The movie, the fucking movie starts. It's a black screen. There's no fucking whatever Universal Pictures presents or whatever. It's black screen, and then it's just like nightclub, and the movie just starts. That's how it started when I saw it in the theater. And then that's the one main difference. Then there's like little added scenes here and there, and then at the end, the showdown where they meet in that sort of shipyard kind of place, and they have Gong Li and John Ortiz is like, hey, I'm going to touch her pussy if you don't fucking, and they do this sort of trade off, and then it turns into this big gunfight, and Colin Farrell shoots that guy under the car and like destroys his foot, and then shoots him in the head. I think it's Tom Towles from, you remember, who Tom Towles is?
Yeah, I recognized him, but I couldn't place what he's from.
Yeah, I know him from, well, he plays, Cooper from the Night of the Living Dead remake, the Tom Savini Night of the Living Dead remake, like the guy, is it Cooper or Hooper or whatever? But
Cooper.
Yeah, Hooper.
Oh, Cooper.
Is it Cooper?
No, Cooper.
Cooper?
It's Cooper.
Is it Cooper?
I think so.
So he plays that. I always know him as Red Rider from Blood In, Blood Out, another movie that we should watch.
I feel like there's something else he was in.
He's in a million things. He's like, you know what he's in? He's in Fortress, the Stuart Gordon's Fortress. He plays like sort of
okay. That's probably what I'm remembering him most strongly for.
Yeah. He's like, why don't you come over and cuddle up next to me, sweet thing? Like to like some guy in jail. Like he's like, he plays like a good sort of like mid-level rapist. But anyways, like during that entire scene, they're playing this retarded version of the Phil Collins song.
Oh, right. Yeah. I noticed, Yeah, I can feel it coming in the
Yeah.
air tonight.
Yeah, and it's like, I think it's by Audioslave, like the guy from Soundgarden's fucking lame divorced dad band. Okay. And it's like I remember seeing that cut and I was like, this is what, this sucks. Like, I remember liking this movie and this scene with this fucking song playing over this entire. It was just score. It was just like film score. Like it was normal. It wasn't retarded like they did it with the director's cut version. And this apparently was Michael Mann's like create like sort of you know what, we need to, I don't know how he talks. We need to go in and we need to fucking put the Audioslave song over this part. That'll make it fucking awesome.
Right.
And it just kills the movie. You're just kind of like, I don't want to watch this anymore. But yeah, like, I mean, you just sort of mentioned that, like, when you saw it, you were like, this seems weird or this seems bad.
Well, they're definitely, I remember years ago, I started watching it online and I had a vague memory of it starting in the nightclub. So when I turned it on the other night and it didn't start in the nightclub, it started with the boats. Mm-hmm. I was like, maybe I misremembered what I thought I saw.
Yeah.
So it's interesting to find out that I was watching a slightly different version.
Yeah, the theatrical version. Like,
right.
Like I'm going to just, this is not, a big deal, but like the theatrical version is like, is a big recommend from me. And then the director's cut is just with these two scenes altered it affects the movie so much that I think it's a bad movie. But in any case, whatever the fuck. So there's the fucking opening scene and then with the boats and everything. And it's well photographed, like, and all that kind of crap. Herc's there from The Wire. And then we're in the nightclub and they're playing that stupid song. And then there's sort of like this human trafficking bust that they're kind of working on. It's a little bit confusing. And Jamie Foxx does this really cool thing where this bodyguard tries to like stop him and he like grabs his hand and breaks his hand. And it's like, damn, that's cool. I love Jamie Foxx in this movie. I think Jamie Foxx is the coolest fucking dude in the world in this movie. Mm-hmm.
I was a little confused because they kept calling him Rico. And I was like, I thought his name was Tubbs.
Yeah. Well, I guess is it Rico Tubbs? Is that his full name?
It was kind of confusing because like I think that is that is the case, but still it's sort of like if your nickname is Tubbs, you can't have a second nickname, Rico. Like it should just be like there's a reason why people call you. There's a reason why you have a nickname. It's because that's what people call you by.
It's not his nickname; it's his last name.
But still, like it's if you have like a fun nickname like Tubbs and you're known as Tubbs, Crockett and Tubbs, like that's sort of like the team,
Oh, don't come on! You never watched the show. Don't act like you like.
Look, I never watched Starsky and Hutch either. But if I was watching the Starsky and Hutch movie and everybody was calling Hutch, Riley because his name was Hutchins Riley or something, I would be like, why don't they call him Hutch? The show's called Starsky and Hutch.
Isn't it funny how on the Incredible Hulk show they changed Bruce Banner to David Banner?
Yeah, that always bothered the fuck out of me. I didn't understand that.
I think
I read a reason why, but
I did too.
I think it was some legal bullshit.
No, it wasn't. It was an artistic decision. It was like some guy was it was like Bruce Banner, like the two B's sounds like a comic book. Like we want to ground this in reality. Make it David Banner. Give him a nice Jewish name.
Yeah, we don't want people to be like a double B name.
Yeah,
I'm not watching that double B name show.
Yeah, well, no, like that. I kind of agree. Like whenever the character's named like Billy Baxter or some shit like that, I'm just like, get out of here. Like Peter Parker or fucking like
it's Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers. Yeah, it's full. It's a very Stan Lee like thing,
Totally.
But anyways,
Reed Richards.
The name's Reed Richards. I'm the smartest man in the world. But anyways, so there's that sort of little thing that kind of introduces you to the character, introduces you to the characters. You got fucking Colin Farrell hitting on that Portuguese bartender.
Nice.
Say what?
I said nice.
Yeah. He's like,
moment.
Yeah, give me a mojito. Where'd you get that tan? Or no, he goes, where are you from? She's like, Portugal. He's like, yeah, but you got that tan in Miami, right? And then Miami. I say
Miami Vice.
I say it like a local. But anyways, so Colin Farrell is like a sexy guy, and then all of a sudden they get this call that like, from one of their dudes, from one of their undercover guys, who's played by John Hawkes.
Yeah, from Eastbound and Down.
Yeah, that's right. And I love seeing him in movies. And it's a shame, I was interested in, back when I had this other fucking project that's since been torpedoed. When I had this project, I really wanted to get him in it. And then because I was imagining him from Miami Vice. And then like I looked at what he looked like today and I was like, oh, damn, he's old as hell. And then I saw him in the newest True Detective, like the True Detective Ladies in Alaska with Jodie Foster.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah, I mean, we watched it because there's woefully few shows on TV that are good.
I gave up on that after the Colin Farrell, Vince Vaughn True Detective season. It's awful.
Yeah, I know. I only like that first episode where Colin Farrell beats up that kid's father in front of him on the lawn. Mm-hmm. That part's so sick. I love that part. Sometimes I'll just watch that part just to be like, yeah, that's cool. I like that. But anyways,
all the parts are there, and then it just kind of.
Yeah. It falls. You're right. That's exactly what happens. Whatever that sound you made was, that's what it does.
Great cast. Fred Ward, Vince Vaughn, but
the late great Fred Ward.
They didn't really have any real idea. It didn't seem like they did. They had like the way that the first one was like very well written and constructed. This one just seemed to be like, whatever.
Yeah. There's some really, really good in the first True Detective. Like there's this one like bit where the cops are like busting some drug dudes in some neighborhood in like some real shitty, like American, like project kind of neighborhood. I wish I could remember it a little bit better, but like that, I remember seeing that like when it first came on HBO, and I was just like, this is fucking amazing. This is one of the best like sort of crime things that I've seen on TV ever.
Oh yeah, it was a great show.
Anywho, hot take: True Detective season 1 is good. But anyways,
piss your pants.
Yeah, you'll piss your pants. It's so good, you'll piss your pants. Yeah. So what do you call it? So then not Tom Towles, but John Hawkes is, oh fuck, they found out, someone on the inside. They knew we were FBI the whole time, and whatever. All this shit's going on.
He plays he's like some sort of, what are they called? CI?
What's the CI? What's that stand for?
I'm trying to remember. No, I don't know.
Cervical inserter.
Certified public accountant?
He's a certified public accountant. Well, whatever. So you go ahead and take the fucking helm here. So he's driving. He's calling them on the phone. There's a big kerfuffle going on. Some cover's been blown.
Something informer.
Yeah. Covert informer. Something
like that.
Nailed it.
So he's like he's either undercover or just some kind of like, somebody who is a drug dealer, but is like also an informer. I'm not really sure.
Okay. So anyways,
he's sort of, they figured out that he's giving information to the drug dealers figured out that he's giving information to the cops. And so he knows that he's about to be killed, or his family is about to be killed, or they killed his family or something. They got his wife, or I don't know.
They got it. They have his family, and they're
right. I remember now. Like they show his house, and they show the Nazi skinheads in his house rooting through his fridge.
Yeah.
So his wife's dead body is on the floor. I thought this movie portrayed white supremacists in a bad light, actually.
Yeah, it was a little bit. I would say it was a little bit one-sided.
Exactly. I think so. I kind of was very uncomfortable with
clearly biased. This is coming from a clearly biased perspective.
I think so.
Yeah. But anyways, so then there's that scene, like, and you're kind of like, what the hell's going on? And then there's that scene back at the shipyard where there's sort of a deal going on. It's more of like a meet and greet, where it's like a small amount of product and money is exchanged, and then and it's like, we're going to make a lot of money together, guys. And then the guy's going back to his car and he's like, hey Thomas, how long you been working for the
Tom
FBI?
Towles.
Yeah, hey Tom Towles, or it's Tom Towles who says it. Hey Frederick, we find. Hey Frederick, how long you been working for the FBI? They try to jump in that car.
Busted.
And it's what's his name? Don Fry, the MMA fighter, who's got that long hair. That guy with the, but then up on top of the ship, fucking in the crow's nest is some guy with this like nasty fucking anti-aircraft gun, like some kind of like very large caliber, sort of high precision rifle thing. And he just starts hammering the fucking car. And there's that scene that I'll never forget where the guy puts his arm up and it busts through his arm and his arms goes spinning like a fucking baton or something. Amazing. Yeah, it's awesome. And you just see like a hole appear in the seat. Just the power of this weapon. It's so sick. I love that part so much. Anyways, so yeah, the white supremacists, whatever, make fools of the FBI. John, there's a scene on the high, they end up pulling over. There's a sick ass scene where these guys are driving their whatever the fuck it is, some sort of sports car, Lamborghini or Ferrari or something. And they pull over John Hawkes and they're like, chill out, man. What the fuck? I'm going to get on the phone. I'm going to find out what happened. Oh, hey, sorry, man. You don't have to go anymore. It turns out your family's dead. He doesn't say it in so many words, but then John Hawkes turns around and kills himself by jumping in front of a truck. Yeah, exactly. And so this is like an egg on the face of the sort of Miami Vice, kind of whatever, like sort of special police unit for tackling this kind of shit. It's like, okay, well, we got to do something. Turns out it's these Colombians, and it's these really super high level, super scary paramilitary, vertically integrated, whatchamacallits. Did you even like this? Did you even like this movie, by the way? Like, did you like this?
I thought it was okay. I guess I was a little disappointed. Sometimes I was a little confused by what was happening.
Yeah.
there was moments of confusion, but then eventually you just kind of roll with it.
Yeah. You kind of just have to roll with Miami Vice.
But I don't know if there was something about Colin Farrell. He just reminded me of MacGruber.
Yeah.
Like he just seemed like with the hair, like he wasn't fitting into whatever he was doing. Like this whatever he was trying to do, he just didn't seem comfortable in his own skin. I didn't like when him being a ladies' man. I know he is in real life, but I wasn't buying it in this movie.
Well, like the funny thing, we can talk about this a little more broadly. We don't have to go like scene by scene or whatever, but like the funny thing about that, first of all, you're right. Like his look is ridiculous. Like I would imagine that like that look has sort of been emulated in the context of a parody, like later on.
That's like he looked like it was like this was some sort of comedy, Saturday Night Live doing it. It basically, like I said, MacGruber. Like it's just like what does a cool guy look like? There's the cool guy hair, the cool guy jacket.
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. That's Michael Mann kind of like approaching sort of like his golden years, where he's like, okay, we need him to look like the coolest guy around. All right. Let's, give me some options. Okay, that's the one. Are you sure, Michael? I mean, he looks, no, that's the one. Okay. And by the way, I want to put that fucking Soundgarden song at the end of the fucking movie. That'll make it way cool. Trust me, I'm Michael Mann. I invented what cool was. I learned how to, I fucking invented putting water on the ground. But anyways, the funny thing about the sort of, whatever ladies man aspect of Colin Farrell is that, okay, well, let me, before I get into that, I have to talk about Naomi Harris and Jamie Foxx. They have that sex scene where Jamie Foxx is in the shower after like kind of a long day, a stressful day. He had to bust some heads. He had to break some hands. One of his good friends, or at least the guy who he empathizes with, had his family killed. He's feeling bad. She comes into the shower. She's like, and she comforts him, and then they have sex. And there's that part where they have sex where he pretends to come early, and he goes, just kidding. And then they continue fucking. Pumping. Yeah. And then, and it's like, that entire sequence is genuinely romantic in my mind. It's like, it really is like, it really kind of makes me like this couple and really like understand their relationship. And like, just in that little sequence, I really am super behind them. Like, I like this couple a lot. I like them both. I like them together. And it establishes kind of the jeopardy that she's put in later. And it like sets sort of whatever you want to call that, like stakes or something. So that the wrench in that, and it was sort of like one of the moments that I was kind of confused. When they're going undercover, and then the bad guy send flowers to her. Yeah, and she's kind of like, "Oh, thanks for the flowers." And he's like, "Flowers? What is?" So basically, the message is, we know where your wife is, right? And then after that, much later in the film, they sneak up on her, they kidnap her, and that whole thing. But it's sort of like there was no nothing was done. Like once he knew that the bad guys, there was a couple things. There was that aspect of it. Like the bad guys know where your wife is, and nothing is done to like, okay, you need to go to your mother's for the weekend, or like something like you need to get out of town. You need to, because, they know where you are, so you got to hide. But also at that point, it was another point of confusion, which was like, oh, so I guess they figured out who he is. They know he's a cop. They know where he lives. Like, but then they didn't. They still thought he was, undercover drug dealer. Yeah. Well, I mean, that doesn't really, I do think that there's enough of an explanation. Like it's delivered incredibly awkwardly in just sort of this exposition scene, this dialogue scene where it's just like, look, if they start looking into you, they're just going to find layer after layer of like false identity anyways, because we're so, our unit is so well, so like sophisticated, the level of undercover that we are is at a level that's so sophisticated that anyone who looked into this would only find like layer after layer of fake identities and stuff like that. So it's not like them finding out that she's a cop and that he's a cop doesn't seem to be an issue. Like it seems to be like that's kind of the one thing that they do really well. And as far as like, go visit your mother's house or whatever, I think that if he were to do that, then the bad guys would be like, oh, okay, well, this guy is, is afraid. Why is he, if the only reason he'd be afraid is if he's planning on stealing from us or pulling some bullshit. So it's kind of like cards on the barrel, like, or guns on the barrel. Like everybody has stakes, has to kind of have their stakes. On some level, I can see that. I can see what you're saying, but still they telegraph, they know where she is. So, but then after that, like, there's and she knows that too. Like, she knows like her husband's undercover and that these flowers are sent by some bad person that's watching her, and knows where she lives. So that the fact that like they don't even like address like, okay,
we're now dealing with this problem. We're a couple. We're married. We're now dealing with this problem. I'm undercover, and, they still think I'm undercover. They don't know I'm a cop, but they know where you are, and they think, you're the drug dealer's wife, and they're going to get you if they feel like getting you, they're going to get you. So what are we going to do? How are we going to prepare for this? Well, they prepare nothing. They don't do anything. And that seemed weird.
Well, okay, fair. So now that I've established the groundwork on Naomi Harris and Jamie Foxx,
actually one more thing. Like, let's just say, like, I do like that scene where it's like, oh, thanks for the roses. I didn't send roses. Like, that is cool.
Yeah.
But let's just say we took that out, just removed it.
Mm-hmm.
Would we lose anything? I don't think so. I think you could completely do a scenectomy of that moment, and it actually would make the final, that last sequence where she does actually get, the bad guys do go to her house, do kidnap her, mm-hmm. bring her to the trailer, and all that stuff. I think it would have made it more effective.
You're actually right, because you still could have that scene where they're in the limo, and he goes, "We extend our regards to your families." Like he says that he'd still say that, if that's all it is, and there's that mm-hmm. wonderful little shot of Jamie Foxx being like, "Huh," like kind of noting that, and then they kind of double down on it. And it's like, oh, there's flowers. And then it's like, oh, then they have to talk about the flowers, and there's a conversation. So yeah, you know what? I agree with you that, like, it's one of those things where it's like, you know what it's like? It's a lot like, if you remember an episode that we did a long time ago with Nightmare Killer, Claudio Fragaso's Nightmare Killer, right. how they made such a fucking business of making sure that we knew that there were two phone lines in the house. Like, it's so important to the plot that, like, they tell, we need the audience to know this. If they don't know this, they're not going to follow along. It's the same sort of thing. It's like, we need to, like, right. Send flowers to her and make a fucking business about it. But anyways, it's kind of like that. Anyways, so that's the relationship that I think is like an all timer, like a really, really well done sort of couple in a film, in this kind of film. Mm-hmm. Contrasted with the relationship that Colin Farrell has with Gong Li, which is retarded. That doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't buy it for a fucking a second. Their whole relationship is retarded. The way they speak to each other, the way she behaves, like she's got kind of this really. She's not good in this role, I don't think.
Just the fact that she's in the movie seems retarded, because it seems like, okay, we're making this movie. It's in Miami. It's about drug dealers. And so, I mean, I'm imagining Michael Mann, huge Gong Li fan. And he's sort of like, how do I really want to work with Gong Li? How do I get her? How can I work with her? Well, I'm making this movie, Miami Vice, and maybe there's some way I can crowbar her into this movie. Because, like, it's like, not only do you have to have, I'm sure they had, like, some female, I don't really know what right hand person to the bad guy that develops a romance with Sonny Crockett. Mm-hmm. But then, like, oh, Gong Li, she says she'll do it. Okay, well, now how do we figure out getting a Chinese woman involved in Colombian drug dealing? Like, how do we figure that out? So, like, a good portion of the movie is like her trying to tell you how she got there. Right. Like, how she got in this position of, like, well, my mother moved to South America, and my dad, this, and then I had to go to, we were in Cuba, and then she was a doctor, and whereas, like, if you just hired a Spanish woman, like,
a Cuban,
Mendez, or like whoever,
you
wouldn't even have to have this conversation at all. Like it'd just be, oh, of course you're here because you're a Colombian.
Eva Mendes would have been good actually. She's that's prime Eva Mendes, like 2006.
But Gong Li, her work in like Raise the Red Lantern or Red Sorghum or Shanghai Triad, she's fantastic.
Red Sorghum. What a stupid name. It probably sounds better in Chinese.
Yeah, it's like a wine or something.
Well, sorghum is a kind of like a grain, like something that you grow.
Yeah, so they make some kind of wine out of the grain and it's called red sorghum.
Well, it would be Hongzhou, like just
Hongzhou.
Yeah,
that would be a better name for the movie.
It would.
Yes, so lots of great, amazing roles in China. And it's cool to see her in an American film, but I don't know if she's suited for this particular type of movie, or maybe, I mean, even if she was like amazing in it, I don't know if that would turn the tide on the movie.
I see what you're saying, but my bone to pick is more with her performance. Like she's just with her, like, and the chemistry between them, like just on-screen chemistry, regardless of like, for sure. I mean, as far, you're right. Like it is a stretch and having to waste so much time with her backstory, but I do like the idea of sort of this, like, Hong Kong or maybe Singaporean, like Asian tiger kind of like I've met women like that, these business only, like sort of Hong Kong women who are just like, who are just fiercely materialistic and shrewd beyond imagination. But then, like, does it make sense? Is it? I guess it kind of. Well, I don't know. There is a way maybe where it works, but your comment about how, like, it requires all this extra exposition that gets in the way of like the story. That's like,
because the movie's like, the story's complicated enough, and now you got to add this extra element of complexity. And it's funny too, because like here, okay, she's like a girl boss, a drug dealing power broker, but she actually, like in those other Chinese movies, she seems like she's a lot sexier. In those films, I remember seeing those movies and being like, "Wow, this lady is very
sexy."
But then, like watching this, she's kind of like, even in the moments where she's supposed to be sexy, I'm kind of like,
she's awkward.
She's kind of sexy, but she's not as sexy as she should be.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then like Colin Farrell's a weird guy because, for the most part, I think a lot of his movies are pretty terrible. But then every once in a while, he'll do something like Killing of a Sacred Deer,
right,
or Lobster. I haven't seen In Bruges yet, but people say like that one's really great.
I haven't seen it either.
But then, like, I think of Fright Night, the remake, which was horrendous. Or Alexander with Oliver Stone, which is fucking horrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's kind of amazing how he like just coasts along. I mean, he finally eventually got to a place where he could, like, make a good movie, because man, he's made some real turds.
He's not afraid of a check, which is that, an actor who just said, you pay him, he comes in, he understands the assignment. I like Colin Farrell. You're right. Like when he's good, he's great. But when he's
that's the thing. Like if he's used properly, which is usually like, I don't know, either like a dope, someone who's just kind of dopey, and
if you just let him use his Irish accent
and just kind of flat, But other than that, like if you try to like make him important or like here, you know, where he's supposed to be like a, you know, serious, hardcore dude. He just, like I said, he just comes off as like MacGruber.
Yeah. Like even the lines, like there's a line early in the film where like the black guy, the human trafficker gets away, and Jamie Foxx is just like, looks, we lost him. And then Colin Farrell goes, yeah, his day will come. Like he says it all severe. And I'm just like, what? Who says that? Could you imagine if like your friend said that, like meant it? It'd be like, what the fuck? Okay, good. And then there's a part later where he's like, this part people talk about, the part where he's like, you know, you ever think about just packing it up and, you know, calling it a day? And she's like, what are you talking about? And he's like, probability, you know, you keep shuffling the deck, passing out the cards. Eventually the dealer's going to catch up with you. Probability is like gravity. You can't negotiate with gravity. And it's just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like this writing, this dialogue is, what are you going to say?
These are the type of lines that like somebody with a fedora and a duster would be saying to you online for like Comic-Con.
Right, exactly. My precious, do you dare defy my wishes? But but you know, like it's not just him, it's her too. Like she kind of like does sort of like goes like this a lot. Like what I'm doing is right now to the listeners is like, you know, curtly raising my chin, like to say hello. Like she does this a lot, and it's just like, so are you tough? Like, what? I don't get what you're doing. It's just embarrassing. And I mean, like, that's another thing too, is that like, yeah, she probably seemed sexy when she was in fucking Red Sorghum, but like, you know, she like, we're in Colombia, baby, you know, and I don't need no flat faced fucking no tit, no ass fucking Chinese lady running around trying to be sexy in front of these fucking beautiful Latinas, you know, give me a goddamn break. I'm just joking, everyone. We love Asian women around here. But anyways,
she's got big cans in that movie she did with Chow Yun Fat, where it's like set during like medieval China or something. It's like, but she's wearing like these very low cut shirts, and her breasts are like constantly flying out of her dress.
It's like an older movie. Like pre Crouching Tiger.
I think it was pre Crouching Tiger. It was sort of like Zhang Yimou and Gong Li had a really great run.
Yeah,
and this was like at the very end.
Oh, it's Curse of the Golden Flower.
That's the one.
Same year, 2006. So
yeah, she looks very like that's not a great movie, but she looks really good in it. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
like that's the only reason to watch the movie. If you're a Gong Li fan.
Fair enough. Like I like of the women of Miami Vice, I like Miss Cuba, who we see briefly in the beginning. I like Naomi Harris, and I even like that woman who shoots the neo-Nazi guy in the face to save Naomi Harris. Whatever her name is.
Like a Rosie Perez kind of.
Yeah. I like that. I like that Rose. I like the Rosie Perez
see, that's who should have been
genre.
Rosie Perez.
Yeah. What are you doing?
Would make more sense.
Yeah. Why you acting so stupid? I don't usually date American boy. Mira. Anyways, so they you know, so you know what the fuck? So they go to. We're getting a bit sidetracked here. After a meeting with John Ortiz and Gong Li, they end up going to Cuba to get a mojito, which is like a fucking. I mean, on the conservative side of things, probably like in that boat, in that fucking high speed go fast boat, probably take you 90 minutes to go to Cuba. Not so bad. I mean, especially you know, in LA standards. So they go to Havana, they drink, they salsa. And then they fuck. And
how easy would that be? Like, can you just like hop in a boat and motorboat over to Cuba and then spend the afternoon and then come back? Like, you can do that?
No, I mean, it like there's you know, it's illegal for American. Okay, like in terms of the physicality of just doing that, first of all, they're in drug boats that are, and he is sort of like a drug smuggler. So like, I think he could just get over there and get back without much of a problem. That's sort of part of the point of the scene. It's just like, this barrier doesn't exist for us. We can just go to Cuba. Like it's sort of a cool flex to watch. I remember the first time seeing the movie, I was like, oh, that's cool. They want to go to Cuba just to get a mojito and to hang out. Like that's sick. That's like, again, sort of part of the fantasy of this movie is this like wealth, like sick ass fast cars, private, like flying planes, cool stuff.
That was the whole point of the show.
Right. So you can, as far as, whatever the technicalities, I'm not really sure, but they that's what they do in the movie. Also as a sidebar too, there's like, there's this scene where they fly a plane and they like, I guess get in the blind spot of another plane, and so that they appear as one radar dot. Kind of doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make sense how that plane wouldn't see them. Doesn't make any sense how this works at all. But maybe that's the way they do it. I don't know. I don't care because the scene is photographed so well. Some of the best aerial photography in this movie, like not just sort of like drone shots, but also just like shots of like planes doing stuff. There's this one shot that's early in the film where like there's a camera that's just like sitting stationary in the sky, like in the clouds.
I think I know the shot you're talking about. I remember. And
then you just see this plane come from like, way back here and just go like by, and you're just like, I've never seen that shot in a film before or since. Yeah, like it's sick. That
was impressive. Like it definitely made me think like, whoa, how'd they do that?
Yeah.
And it's like magic.
Right. And then, cause the camera is so stable, just floating there without any kind of drift on it. But anyway, maybe it was on top of it couldn't be it. I was going to say maybe it was on top of like a building. Maybe they just got to like the tippy top of some fucking tower on a building, on a blimp. But, and there's also, in terms of just like what would now be called drone photography, there's that shot where they're going through Colombia and they reveal the fucking bad guy's house. Mm-hmm. And they show all those waterfalls, and then it cuts to like his sort of secluded mansion in the jungle. Say what?
Yeah, compound in the Amazon.
Yeah,
jungle.
And then they cut into the house, and there's like just like 50 maids doing laundry and stuff, and kids running around, and you're just like, yeah, this is probably exactly how it is. But that opening shot of them coming through the jungle is just like, this is really good. This is good stuff. Good fucking cinema right here. Anyways, what else do we want to talk about? I don't want to get into like I said this before, but I don't really want to get into the nitty gritty of it. So we try to wrap this up. We're already like approaching an hour here.
I guess the part I liked the best was at the end when things started to go south and they kidnapped Jamie Foxx's wife, and the white supremacists bring her to the trailer, and they put the explosive necklace on her, mm-hmm. and just sort of the raid that goes on where the FBI, they know that it's a trailer by the airport, and they go in and Jamie Foxx going in there and then knocking out the bad guys, punching the kid out. It's like a whole it's like a whole little family. It's like mom, dad, kid, grandpa.
Yeah. Cousin.
It's like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre trailer.
They really don't treat white supremacists very fairly in this film.
Yeah, like oh yeah, white supremacists, they all live in trailers, whatever.
Yeah,
Michael Mann.
Exactly. How about that part? Just that scene, like when they save her, how that guy comes at him. I think that guy, maybe it's the little kid who comes at him with a knife and he just kind of like slaps the kid out of the way. But then there's that part where that bigger guy like tries to rush him. Jamie Foxx manages to evade him, get him down on the ground. He's aiming the gun at the main guy, and then he just goes down and kills that guy, and then he's back up again. He just like kills him and then the main guy's like, like gets mad. He's like, furious at him for just like killing his, I guess, brother or something. That part's so fucking so good.
And then even like when the bad guy was like, you try to, shoot me, I'm going to shoot your wife right in the head. You won't be able to stop me. And and then they're like having a conversation with him, and then they don't even try to negotiate anything. She just like in mid conversation, like out of completely unexpected, she just like fucking blows his brains out.
No, like Rosie Perez is like, she's like, no, that's not what's going to happen. What's going to happen is I'm going to shoot you through the fucking whatever, the brainstem.
The medulla.
Yeah, the medulla, and it's going to sever the connection between your brain and your finger, and you're not even going to be able to pull that trigger. You're just going to die on your feet. So what do you think of that, sport? He's like, hey, fuck! And then he shoots her, sorry, she shoots him like in the mouth and does exactly what she, promises that she's going to do.
Right.
And then the bomb goes off because John Ortiz has like a cell phone connection to the bomb anyways. Like and Naomi Harris gets put into a coma. So that's
sad.
That's sad.
I was actually sort of
glad,
secretly hoping that
she would die.
Her head would blow off, like because she had the necklace of
the Running Man
plastique around her neck. So I was sort of like, oh, that'd be a cool ending if like his wife's head like blows off.
That'd be cool. A cool name for like a female gangster rapper, Plastique.
There might be one.
Yeah.
And then the showdown was, the final showdown was kind of cool. Even though it did have the Phil Collins
cover
remake song on it.
Yeah.
It took me a second to realize, like, wait a minute, this song sounds familiar. What the hell is it? Like, I couldn't place it.
Yeah.
It took me a while because it's so dumb.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and it sucks too, because like, it's annoying because you've already watched the movie and that's your impression. And then for me to kind of be like, no, like the scene's better with this other music. It's like, it's not enough for you to even go back and revisit it. It's like, whatever. I saw Miami Vice. And it's like, you did. You saw it the way Michael fucking Mann wanted you to see it with that stupid song. But in any case, and then, Gong Li finds out that Colin Farrell is actually a cop and she's mad and whatever. And
that even seemed weird to me because it's sort of like she's a criminal and then she's sort of like, how dare you lie to me? And it's just like, lady, you're a criminal.
Yeah.
Like that's what, like when you live your life underground as a criminal, this shit happens.
Yeah. You lied to me. I opened myself up to it. I don't open myself up to anyone. Maybe that's kind of the angle. But anyways, who gives a shit? I don't buy her character. I don't buy their relationship. I don't care. But I am happy that Naomi Harris
I actually wanted to
wakes up at the end.
I wanted to Google to see if Colin Farrell really had sex with Gong Li.
Let's find out. Why don't we have sex? Why don't we get together in the motel after?
He's quite a well-known cocksman, so I wanted to see if
have Gong Li and Colin Farrell ever had sex? And the answer is no. Yes. No, Gong Li and Colin Farrell did not have a real like sexual relationship. So they don't seem like they would have got like she
had no chemistry on the screen. So.
Yeah, exactly. She probably couldn't stand the fucking guy. You know what's funny is actually she's probably more like what her character is supposed to be like in real life, like in terms of an actress. She's like, like I don't have to be here any longer than it says in my contract. So no, I don't want to have coffee with you. You know what I mean?
Wasn't there some sort of rumor that Colin Farrell was smelled bad, like he never bathed or something? Was that true?
I don't know. Let's ask AI again.
He doesn't look like he's someone who bathes.
Does Colin Farrell smell bad? Oh yeah, look at that. Based on older entertainment reports and celebrity gossip, which you seem to be privy to since you're an older gentleman, Colin Farrell has sometimes been perceived as having a stinky chic or unkempt appearance, with rumors highlighting a heavy cigarette smoking habit and a perceived aversion to heavy grooming. However, these are largely speculative rumors from entertainment commentary rather than verified personal accounts. So we didn't get it. It's we're not getting it from like the FBI or anything.
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire.
Where there's smoke, there's stinky pubes. Yeah.
Stinky sheets.
Stinky. He's got stinky. That man got stinky sheets.
He sleeps in Irish sheets.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing. That man leaves Irish sheets behind.
It's called an Irish goodbye.
Yeah, an Irish goodbye is when he leaves without telling, and the sheets are stinky. They smell like what do you call it? Cigarette smokers, like night sweats.
That's what I imagine. Like, it's horrendous. And also, like, he seems like somebody who, like, drinks constantly, so he probably just, like, covered in vomit. Doesn't even, like, wash it off.
Yeah, that's right. He just covered in vomit.
And he's, like, Irish, so he's, like, kind of half retarded and doesn't even know how to clean himself because nobody in Ireland has a bathtub.
Hey, you're Irish.
That's why I can say these things.
That's true. It's true. You're giving him his fair shake. Okay, so what do you give Miami Vice out of a 5 eggplant rating?
I'm going to give it 2.5.
Are you kidding me? Damn.
I just thought it was okay. I think there's much better Michael Mann movies you can watch, including Heat and Thief and Manhunter and Insider.
Do you think it's better? Do you think it's better or worse than Collateral?
I never saw Collateral.
Okay, I think it's better than Collateral. Yeah, and then like Thief is
better than Last of the Mohicans.
Yeah. Thief is better than Miami Vice. The Insider is better than Miami Vice. Heat is better than Miami Vice. But which one have I seen the most? Miami Vice. I watched Miami Vice more.
I just thought, some of the, we mentioned Gong Li's performance and Colin Farrell, like, they're just kind of, like, they weren't really grabbing me. And, like, the plot was kind of a little confusing.
The funny thing about the plot, actually, like, just like, it is actually very simple and almost to the point where it's stupid. And that might even be what throws you, because it's like, shouldn't this be more complicated? But it's like kind of not.
It's like one of those things where, like, only after the movie's done, then you're like, oh, this is just like they're going undercover to catch drug dealers. That's the whole plot.
Yeah.
But like they kind of do all this. They do all this dancing. Like, we got to put the planes, together so they don't see us on the radar, and we got to, like, it's just like all this business is going on to make it seem complicated and difficult, and he could have just, like, streamlined it.
No, that's what's fun, man.
It literally could have started with, like, the chief needs to see in the office. Okay, you two, you're going undercover.
I don't want to hear any bullshit from you, Crockett.
But and then, like, having the conversation with Jamie Foxx, having the conversation with his wife. Honey, I got to go undercover. Like, but you're married now. You can't go undercover. I'm pregnant. We're going to have a family.
Yeah.
Sorry, honey. This is important. This is my last job before I retire. All that stuff.
No, like he's on the phone and you just, it's like Crockett and Tubbs, like, in the office, and you just hear, like, from the phone, and then he takes it away from me, and then he goes, like, he with his hand starts going, like, yap, 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 bitch, bitch, bitch. My loud black wife. But no, I think that, like, all the stuff that
you know what it's like to be a black woman in America.
All the stuff that you're saying in terms of it being like, oh, they got to dance. Why can't they just streamline it? Like, I mean, that's the movie, man. Like that, all those flourishes, all those cool scenes, like all that fucking. My favorite parts of the movie are the things that you're saying that they should just, like, get rid of. And
I'm just sort of saying, like, if you're going to add these flourishes, they should not make the movie confusing. They should enhance it in some way.
I don't accept the presupposition that the film is confusing. I mean,
yeah. Well, I was sort of confused by, like, who John Hawkes was and, like, what their relationship to the case was with John Hawkes.
That's true, but you know what? I was too, actually. But then I realized that, like, that it is supposed to. It is because you're not given the information necessary to know who he is until afterwards. It's supposed to sort of shake you up, and then it kind of is like, what's going on, and then you're like, oh, okay. Then you kind of they tell you kind of what happened, and I think,
like I said, the stuff with the flowers was confusing.
That wasn't confusing to me. That was just like, and I think that we discussed that, and I think it's just unnecessary, and what's the word? A bit patronizing. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But
like, and afterwards, I was kind of like, okay, I can put all the pieces together now. But watching it, I was like, still kind of like, what's going on? So they know he's a cop, or they know his wife, or they like, why isn't he stopping the bad guys? Like, why doesn't he help his wife? And like, there were certain motivations that weren't really connecting. And then sort of the love affair between Colin Farrell and, he was so determined to romance Gong Li. Like I wasn't feeling the heat between either of them.
Yeah.
It kind of just falls short. But I think like the biggest problem is that Colin Farrell is not suited for this role. He was out of his league.
Who do you think should have been in it as Crockett, Sonny Crockett?
That's a good question. I mean, I think they should have just got Don Johnson again. I mean, he looks fine. I don't think there's anything wrong with him. They should just put him in that role again.
No, I think it's. I think.
I mean, why not? Like that was 2006. How old was Don Johnson in 2006? Like 48?
No, he was in his 50s for sure.
No way.
Really?
And then I mean, Don Johnson looks good in those. Like he's in those
Zoller movies.
Zoller movies. He looks fine. Like he doesn't look like he doesn't look like old and infirm and.
How old was Don Johnson in 2006? Yeah, he would have been in his late. He was almost damn near 60, dude. He's too old.
I just said he's too old.
Hey, did you get your tan in Miami? Where are you from? Portugal?
I told you I watched that Mel Gibson movie, The Hunting Party. Mel Gibson is old, but he's playing an action, lead in an action movie.
Is that like a revenge movie?
It's kind of like no, it's not a revenge movie so much. I guess it's just like Mel Gibson and his daughter are like living out in the woods, and then like they find some wounded woman in the woods, and they take her in, and they realize like she was involved in some kind of drug thing, and then the drug dealers might come after her. So there's like a little bit of Straw Dogs and a little bit of Taken, and and it's okay. It's not great, but I did like
Hunting Season.
Oh, Hunting Season.
Yeah.
But that Mel Gibson is old, and I didn't doubt his ability to take on the drug dealers in the movie.
Yeah, but come on, man. He has to be he has to be a sexual creature. He has to be sexy. He has to be like in his.
Oh, take a look. He's still set. He's still got it.
Yeah, right.
He's got those big blue eyes. He'll swoop you right up.
Yeah. Well, no, you need a Colin Farrell adjacent actor. You can't.
Who's Colin Farrell adjacent?
I don't fucking know, man. Like, I mean, like anyone.
Chalamet?
No, like someone who's like his age. Like.
Brad Pitt.
Yeah, sure.
I think Brad Pitt probably would have been better.
Yeah, sure.
What about Leonardo? No, Leonardo DiCaprio couldn't have done that.
No, Brad Pitt could have done it, I think. Like I said, I don't think. No, you are right. I don't think that Colin Farrell is like he doesn't like he doesn't have the kind of what do you call it? Like the strategic mind, like he doesn't seem like a smart guy, like a guy who's got kind of like designs going on behind his eyes. He just seems like a fucking imbecile. He's always vomiting all over himself and, wiping it up with a fucking McDonald's McDonald's bag. Like the paper bag. Anyway,
he's got his stinky sheets in his pocket, pulls them out.
Okay. Well, anyways, yeah. So Well, okay, just so that we can put another poster on the fucking thing. I haven't seen the movie, but what do you give for Hunting Party for eggplants?
Oh, I'm going to give it 2.75.
What? a little bit better than the fucking.
It's just like a cunt hair better than this.
Really? Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy. Well, I haven't seen it, but you're crazy. Anyways, that's the show, everybody.
I mean, technically, it's
Johnny wants to keep talking.
Technically, it's not as good. I mean, clearly, Michael Mann is a superior filmmaker in that way. But I think, as far as just a story where, you're following the story and you get invested in the story, and I mean, it's just kind of a dumb, a dumb piece of entertainment that satisfies on that level. I think Miami Vice tries to be more than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dumb TV show. It's based on a dumb TV show, and he's trying to elevate it into this big, this great piece of cinema. And I think that incongruity might be one of the things that is a problem here.
I think that if the relationship between Gong Li and Colin Farrell had been, or rather between Isabella and Crockett, maybe the solution is a recast. If those two characters had the same level of chemistry that Naomi Harris and fucking Jamie Foxx had, and they had and there were two really good sort of romances going on, because the Gong Li and Colin Farrell one is the one that has to work. That's the one that matters, and it's the one that works the least.
Think about Colin Farrell as far as when you think of him, whatever movies you've seen him in, and he's with a particular actress, and you felt wow, the connection between these two is, smoldering. They really, you really feel like these two are, got a special connection. I just don't think he has that ability.
He doesn't know how to love.
He's not a romantic lead.
No.
I just don't think he has that skill. When you think of Killing of the Sacred Deer, which is he's awkward. And he's meant to be awkward.
Right.
Or, The Lobster, again, he's meant to be awkward. And he is awkward. When he's trying to be, I'm hot and I'm cool, it doesn't work.
What's a really good, and don't give me some old ass fucking movie. What's a movie that was made in the from the 90s onward, where there's a really good romance, but in the context of a thriller. Not just a romance movie.
Romantic thriller. I'd have to sleep on it. I have to think about it.
Okay, I'm just trying to think who's got really good. I mean, okay, so we talked about.
Most people might say the Titanic, but I was never huge into that.
We talked about how much we liked Penelope Ann Miller and Al Pacino in Carlito's Way.
Yeah, that was fine. I mean, but the music kind of ruined it.
You are so beautiful. Okay, so I'm going to try to close the show again.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. I like your enthusiasm. It's a welcome change. What was I going to say? I was going to say that we should talk about St. Jack next time.
Okay, I got to finish it. My mom's been in town, so it's hard to watch stuff alone. I sat and watched Miami Vice with my mom.
was she like, oh, he's hot, he's cute?
She's like, look at this amazing chemistry.
Yeah,
he looks like he smells bad.
Yeah, that guy. I've seen that kind of guy before. He stinks. I bet he stinks.
She literally said nothing. She watched the whole thing with me, but then afterwards, we didn't discuss it. He just left the room.
It's funny. Okay, so if you're still listening at this point, congratulations, you've made it to the end of the show. Next episode will be St. Jack with Ben Gazzara. Maybe we'll even talk about The Killing of a Chinese Bookie at some point, because I think that those two films have a little bit in common. It's almost as if St. Jack is where Ben Gazzara went after after he left Los Angeles and killing him a Chinese bookie. But anyways, there's other, if there's other films that you want us to talk about, let us know. We like obscure stuff. If you haven't realized, we don't talk about like new movies on this show. We don't talk about like fucking.
Well, we just did hunting season, or whatever that was.
Like, but we don't feature them. We don't get into the weeds with them. Because most new stuff is like pretty good. I mean, we talked about it.
What about Baby Girl? That was new.
Yeah, we talked about Baby Girl, and we talked about Slanted.
Slanted.
We only talk about new stuff when we can talk shit about it, or if it's exceptional. Because we did talk about Enora.
Oh, and Positions, great.
Yeah. That like that. No one's going to see that. I just saw that's now available to the public. It didn't really have the juice to do a full, even a limited theatrical release. It's
sad.
It is sad. It's very sad because that, but have you seen the trailer for I guess it is called Positions now.
Yeah. The director told me, it is just Positions, but.
Oh, but you were fucking around?
No, he told me that later because I guess he must have heard our podcast where we were both like, I don't know if it's Positions or like what it is.
He must have been so annoyed.
He messaged me and he's like, it's Positions. And I guess it's some kind of crypto, slang.
It's talking about, like how much of a fucking coin that you have, or I've heard it said before. I don't know anything about that world, but, go on.
But, what was I saying? Positions.
Well, I mean, you were saying how we didn't pronounce it.
Yeah. So
right.
I just was saying that he corrected me that it's just called Positions, even though it has a dollar sign in the front of it for some reason. Right.
But anyways, the point is that movie, if there's any justice in this world, that movie would have done numbers. But that's what I was going to say. That the trailer for the film is awful. It's the wrong. Whoever edited that trailer is not capturing what's fun about the film. They're trying to go with this whole, this is like Uncut Gems but crypto kind of thing. Which is,
I think they actually say that in the or they show like a blurb.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the guy saw that and he was like, okay, well, what did Uncut Gems do? And it goes to show that, like, if you don't position your movie properly, you don't kind of create the right marketing tools to get the movie out there, you're going to have a bad time, folks. So, it's a shame because at the same time, I look at the trailer and I think, what would I have done better? Maybe kind of lean into the comedy of it more. You know what else has a really bad trailer? A really, really terrible trailer that make
Hail Mary.
Yeah, that also sucks. I kept thinking that's what I was laughing about. Is it David Bowie who sings that song? It's like ground control to
Space Oddity.
Yeah. And it's like I kept thinking that it was Uncle Tom that he sang. He's like ground control, Uncle Tom, and I was like, that's not right. But then I was like, that's hilarious. Like if that's what the song was. But then regarding a really bad trailer, we very briefly talked about Dream Scenario one time on the show, the Nicolas Cage movie where like he's getting everyone's dreams. They they have this trailer for that movie and it's like that Cranberries song where it's like every day, every possible way, like that fucking song. And it's like, no, that's not the movie, guys. Like I know that song's about dreams, but I mean, you don't want to do it that way. Like I remember being like, oh, I saw a cool movie. You should let me show you the trailer. And I showed it to some people and I was fucking embarrassed. Yeah. Like I was humiliated. They're like, oh yeah, we'll see that for sure, Rob. Sounds great. We'll watch your little Cranberries movie over there.
He's transitioning.
Yeah, exactly. Fuck.
He's coming out. Bye.